Welcome to our international podcast, guys. We are so privileged you guys are joining us back, not only here in Guyana, but around the world. As we were saying on our morning program, FYI, you guys put the international in the international podcast. We are so privileged that you folks are back with us. We wouldn't want it any other way, folks. We tell you, we wouldn't want it any other way. Again, so privileged that each and every one of you have chosen to join us. Welcome to our international podcast, Below the Belt. Today's team is Tuesday. Lest we forget, and we're talking about two issues this morning, or this afternoon rather. Lest we forget what's happening at the Guyana Public Service Credit Union, and lest we forget some folks we got in the diaspora. We're going to be talking with Trevor Benn, picking up a conversation we had this morning with Trevor Benn in our morning program, updating us what transpired over the weekend with the union. This long weekend we had. Happy Diwali. We're coming out of the Diwali weekend, and it was supposed to be a special annual general meeting yesterday. We're going to pick up with Trevor on that. And then on the other side of that interview we did with Trevor, we're going to be talking with one Megan-Massey Greaves, Dr. Megan-Massey Greaves, a Guyanese who's living in the diaspora. We're going to be talking with her on the other side of the discussion. And guys, we are so very, very privileged that we have each and every one of you here with us. A number of things happening locally, a number of things happening internationally as well. And we're very, very excited that we have you folks with us. All the usual suspects. We are so privileged that we have all of you guys with us today. It is a distinct privilege, folks. A real distinct privilege that we have all of you wonderful, beautiful folks with us today. We are so glad on that account that you guys are here with us. So glad. Yep. Be happy. We're very happy that you folks are here with us. And we'd rather have it no other way. So happy that you folks are joining us. Wherever you guys are joining us from, we are very pleased, very privileged that you folks are here with us. So welcome to our international podcast, guys. We're going to bring you up to date on a couple of things, and then we're going to, again, head to that discussion we had with Trevor Benn earlier. Those of you who may have missed it, a very potent discussion. There are lots of Guyanese who are part of the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union down there in Hartsfield Street, and they have been doing exceptionally well on the Trevor Benn. You all know some machinations happened. He ended up out as chairman, and now the members want him back. The members want Trevor and his team back because they're telling us that Trevor was doing really well for the union, and they want that to continue to happen. And you know what? We want it to continue to happen as well. Personally, I'm a member of the union, and I would love to see more of the good things that have been happening there to continue. I would want that. So good to have each and every one of you with us, folks. Wherever in the world you fantastic folks are joining us from, we are so privileged and pleased to have you. What's the weather like where you guys are? Lest we forget, folks, lest we forget what's happening at the union. And lest we forget, too, we got some folks in the diaspora doing great. And I love the fact that we got Guyanese all over doing exceptionally well in the diaspora. Exceptionally well in the diaspora. We're going to be talking with one such person in Dr. Megan Greaves, or rather Dr. Megan-Massey Greaves. We're going to be talking with her as well. A very special interview we did a short while ago with her. We're going to be talking with her on that front. But so glad to have you folks where we are. Believe it or not, where we are, it is 29 degrees outside. They're telling us it feels like 33. And weather.com, you know, is our favorite place to make sure we get valid and credible information. And they're telling us it's 29 degrees in the national capital city of Georgetown, where we're broadcasting from. That's what they're telling us, but it feels like it's 33 degrees outside. And it's there's a slight chance it's going to rain in the morning, going into the afternoon. Morning, they're telling us here, as we're coming out of the morning, there was a 70% chance it's going to rain during the course of the morning. And into the afternoon, that decreases. I would walk with my umbrella, just in case. I would walk with a little shelter, a little shade, just in case. Guys, how are you doing? Please let us know how you're doing. What's for lunch? Good to have each and every one of you here. We had a fantastic time over the weekend. Got some time for rest relaxation, recreation as well. Went out on Sunday evening, got a good look at the motorcade in Georgetown. They were very late. They were very, very, very late. The motorcade never got on the way till after 9, and did say they'd be up and running from about 6:30. But when they did come down our way on the East Coast. They were lined up very nicely. You didn't have to wait very long for the next contingent. And we were happy about that after that very, very long wait. But we were very, very pleased with what we saw, even after that very, very long wait. We were very, very pleased with what we saw. It was a lovely evening to be out. Lovely, lovely evening to be out, and we had a good time. Happy Diwali. I think we're still in that mode. Happy Diwali. I saw one newspaper, the Ghana Chronicle, instead of talking about darkness being triumphed by light, and light triumphing over darkness. Oh, it's light over ignorance. They had their own spin in it. I don't know why we can't just stick to the script. Light over darkness, good over evil. They took quite a different turn in it. Quite a different turn in it. We ain't gonna worry with them too much. We ain't gonna worry with them too much at all. We're happy for them. They think they're doing good. We're happy for them. Folks, a lot of things happening, and we trust you guys had a good Diwali. A lot of folks went out even last night to get a sense of the light up. I saw some of it on social media, and it's really, really good to participate in all of that. And we do hope that you went out. Folks, sometimes you gotta detox from the politics. You gotta take a step back. You can't keep burning the engine and all six all the time. And sometimes you step away and you get a chance to do other things. I went to the theater as well over the weekend. I went to the theater and I saw Black Adam with The Rock. Black Adam is out at the theater, and I hope if you get a chance to go take a peek at it. The weekend before, went with the family and we saw Woman King, another epic film. Black Adam was really good. For us men, we like action. Actually, I had a lot of that. My wife enjoyed it as well too. My wife is not so much for the action movie. That's not her first preference, but she enjoyed it too. And I'm happy about that. So we got out, and we hope that you guys got a chance to slow down over the weekend. You had some you time, some self-care, all that good stuff. Really trust you guys had a chance to do that. Self-care is important. Don't knock it. You can't be busy 24/7, 7 days a week. Slow down, smell the grass. Slow down and smell the grass. We're happy, folks. We're happy. We were out, got some time for family, got some time for self. Took a walk in the park yesterday afternoon. Tire out my little son, Sinzain, tire him out. He ran around that whole park. It's about a mile, just under a mile around. He ran the whole thing. By the time he got to the finish line, he was ready to go to sleep, and we were very happy parents. We were very happy parents, guys. And that was my weekend. How was your weekend? Certain you guys are always busy, up and on the go. No time to waste, no time to lose. We're very happy about that. Always on the go and going down the road, moving along quite nicely. Folks, not to distract by any means. We did have a conversation earlier with Trevor Benn. We want to bring you guys in the loop on, because lest we forget what's happening at the union and where it started. This administration here have been installing a number of IMCs, Interim Management Committee, and that's pretty much what happened at the Ghana Public Service Credit Union, at the Ghana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union. Trevor Benn and team were duly elected a couple of months ago, and then some of them on the team get basa. They get basidi. Right? And they try to overthrow Trevor. But you see, you could overthrow the man, but you can't work the plan the way the man was working the plan. Trevor did some good things in the few short months he had there at the Ghana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union. He did a number of fantastic things, and those was a short time. Those things have stood up and stood out, and people are saying they want Trevor back. The team that supplanted him, they didn't do nothing. They asked him for more time. They might have been in there longer than Trevor was chairman. They didn't do nothing. And these jagabas and trench crappos, they want some time. But lest we forget, folks, I want us to know what's been happening and what's been going on at that union and especially as regards that very special annual general meeting they were slated to have yesterday. So take a listen to a conversation we had early on with Trevor Benn. We come back at the other end and we talk with Dr. Greaves-Massey out of the US. Guyanese is doing well in Diaspora. We're going to talk to her the other side of the Trevor Benn interview. Here's Trevor Benn, folks, and some of what's going down at the Guyana Public Service Credit Union. Here's Mr. Benn and some of what's going on there. Was the planned special annual general meeting. And leading up to that meeting, several things happened. Let's take it from there. There was a decision out of the court that specified how the meeting should operate. Tell us a little bit about that, and then we come forward.
So in June of this year, Sherrod, 3 brave members of the credit union took the credit union to court for not honoring the petition. And the court ruled on September 30th that the committee must honor the petition. And in the petition, the members requested that there be a special general meeting. And at that meeting, they called for a number of actions to take place. So what has happened over the time, we have seen a number of people making statements, a number of committee members making statements suggesting that they were not prepared to honor the judge's order. And it came down to a point where one of the main things that the petition asks for is for an IT company of repute out of Trinidad to be used for the hosting of the virtual component of the meeting. That IT company was approached at a late date, and so it told the Committee of Management that they needed more lead time. The Committee of Management then went back to the court to ask for a variation of the order. The main issue that the members were concerned about is the use of an IT company that was not trusted or checked or tested before. If you look at the two companies, there's a stark contrast. The Trinidad company has a long history of working in the area that is being requested. And the Guyanese company, when you Google it, you have no information showing up about this company. I saw somewhere on Facebook that the owner of that company is a relative of one of the members of the Committee of Management. That's wow. The allegation being made on social media. I don't know if it is true. And if that is true, then that's even a bigger issue that we have.
Yeah.
But so the members felt that uncomfortable working with that outlet. And so that's one of the reasons we decided not to participate and to ask members to boycott. But more importantly, the petition requested that we have stations in every region to allow people to participate more widely and to be able to vote in their region. Mm-hmm. That was not permitted by the Committee of Management. They insisted that everyone must come to Georgetown or be on the virtual platform. For one, people don't trust the virtual platform, and two, it is inconvenient for them to leave the regions to come to Georgetown. The cost, for example, and the time that they had to get to Georgetown. They're saying that they must register between 7 and 9 a.m. Now, the best of companies, that would be a challenge to register people, both in person and virtually. 5,000 people, let's say 5,000 people showed up. How can you register that many people in that short space of time? If you look at their Facebook page, you will see that a number of people were complaining that they're trying to sign in and they weren't being allowed access into the meeting. So the preparations were completely off and not in keeping with the judge's order. And our members said to us, we don't want to take that chance. We don't know what these people are really planning. Mm-hmm. You know, Patrick Mentor has been on various programs talking about how we've been excluded from the preparatory process for this meeting. There are meetings and there are other meetings that we are not involved in. Mm-hmm. You know, so we weren't sure that there was any seriousness to the members who were the 9 members who were planning and this meeting. In fact, I understand because one of the things that the members asked for is that these 9 members not be allowed to return to office, that they were putting all kinds of stumbling blocks in the way to make sure that this didn't happen. But yesterday was even more farcical. The fact that the people in so large number demonstrated their distaste and disgust with what was happening. They stayed away on our call. They went ahead as if there was a meeting and said that the meeting is dissolved. There was no meeting. So we could not address the other issues of the petition, which is to move motions for certain things which is listed in the petition. Those issues were not addressed, so they're still unaddressed based on the judge's order. And they further went on to say that the meeting is dissolved. Now, the rules are very clear about special general meeting called by the Committee of Management. They have to, if on the first occasion you don't have a quorum, it's automatically recalled in 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
So you should adjourn the meeting, not dissolve it. So and when the question was asked by one of the reporters, the chairwoman said that they're done. That's it. They're not going to have that 7 days meeting. So they are
a law unto themselves.
They're not prepared to comply. You know, this started way back in April when they called for a meeting overnight, and the subject of the meeting was yourself calling them names and accusing me of giving you the information to allow you to call them names. And then they voted to remove me without giving me an opportunity. So there's a streak of arrogance in these people. And we were not prepared to take any chances because we don't know what they have up their sleeve. Our members want the court order to be adhered to in its strictest form. Mm-hmm. And indeed, even the judge, I understand, on the weekend wrote to both lawyers because he heard what was happening, and he took time out. The judge took time out of his busy schedule, his family time on a Saturday afternoon to write both sides, to tell them that he's in receipt of their request for variation and that he's prepared to deal with it on the 7th. 7th of November. He also said that if you choose to go ahead with the meeting, make sure it is in conformity with my September 30th order. They went ahead with the meeting. They choose to go ahead, and there's no problem with them going ahead, but they did not the same thing they wrote the judge asking for a variation for. They went ahead using without his approval. These people are law unto themselves.
Trevor, this is mind-boggling from a lot of standpoints. Now, if this committee that's currently in place, this interim committee, they went ahead and had their meeting. But if they had the confidence of the membership would have turned up. They didn't have a quorum. In any other part of the world, Trevor, that whole committee would have resigned this morning.
Precisely.
Knowing that they don't have the confidence of the credit union members. But they're digging in.
They're seeing it as a victory, Sharon, that nobody showed up. They're seeing it as a victory. They don't see it as something for them to be taken back and look at themselves. They see it as the members agree with them and they didn't show up because they felt it was a waste of time. When in fact it was completely the members, every social media platform that you look at where this matter is being discussed, the members are making their voices heard that the committee needs to go. And they're not getting it.
And you were the one and your team who called for the boycott because of all the reasons you've outlined here. The boycott the meeting. It's illegal based on, it's not following the order handed down by the court. And members stayed away. I don't see how anybody could claim that as at least how the current Committee of Management could claim that as a victory.
Yeah. Well, Sharon, we don't understand everyone, and they're thinking, I'm not sure what is in their mind, but the members are very clear that they will have none of it. They're waiting. We're abiding by the court's order. We're waiting on the further instructions of the court. And our attorney, the applicant's attorney, I understand, has responded to their request for variation, and they await the court to make further decisions on this matter.
Excellent, excellent. You know, Mr. Benn, there's what we see, you know, with our own eyes, but then there might be other forces at work. What is happening? And I'm quite surprised I haven't heard the Ministry of Labor, which has a certain kind of jurisdiction in these matters, pronounce on any aspect of it that seems to be going haywire day after day.
So, Sharon, I think they're doing the right thing. They need not get involved. It is not a political matter. It has nothing to do with the Ministry of Labor. This is an internal process within the credit union. It's a private organization, and the members have the right to decide how their organization must run. This has nothing to do with the ministry. The ministry will get involved if the organization fails to fulfill its mandate, if it is their management issues, etc., etc. But I don't think we're at that stage as yet. So I think the ministry is right staying away from this and allowing the members to resolve their internal issues.
Trevor, what comes next? You did say that the management committee responding to a report, it says they ain't got no time with no, 7 days and meeting again, to try to execute the meeting in the right order. What happens next as far as you're concerned?
So what they said there flies in the face of the judge's order and the judge's attempt to bring some semblance of sanity to the situation by writing to the lawyers over the weekend. So we'll await the judge's order. But in the meanwhile, we are telling our members to remain mobilized, to be patient, because we are convinced at the end of this process that the committee of management, as requested by the members, will be replaced in very short order. We are very convinced about that, and it's only a matter of time.
Very well. Trevor Benn, former chairman of the Ghana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union, and I think the rightful chairman. I want to thank you for responding to us on such short notice and coming and bring clarity to this issue.
Thank you, Sharon.
And there you have it, folks. There you have it. Trevor Benn, again, I'm so grateful for Trevor showing up on such a short notice and being able to be part of our discussion on this issue. People want to know what is happening. People are very confused, and people want to know what is happening on this on this very vexing issue of the mismanagement of the union, I dare say. Mismanagement of the union under this interim management committee. And again, I really want to say thanks for Trevor Benn, and the rightful chairman, who vex of the Ghana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union, and wanted to bring that to you this afternoon. Lest we forget what's happening there. Lest we forget what's happening there. There's a number of interim management committees that these folks have been toying around with. A number of these committees, and we only could harken back. We ain't got to go too far. Look at what's happening just a couple of weeks ago at Linden. Just a couple of weeks ago at Linden, with the one that surrounds the power utility company. We ain't gonna go too far. And a number of them have been installed. And I dare say that's where it starts, And that's where it starts. This regime trying to supplant duly elected folks at the at the Ghana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union. And that is what has detained us. That is what has detained us up until now. That foolishness. And a number of those credit unions were installed. Again, you got the Linden Utility Cooperative Society Limited. That's what has the purview to overlook some of the power distribution that happens at Linden. And you see, they just come one day and they uproot the whole committee and supplant them with some folks who, much like this interim management committee of the Ghana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union, have done nothing. And they were asking for some more time themselves. See? And then there was another one, the West Damwara Market Cooperative Society. That credit union was also supplanted by an IMC. And then you had also the Amalgamated Transport and General Cooperative Credit Union Limited. A lot of stupidness happening there too. IMC was installed there. It's a lot of nonsense. Lot of nonsense happening where these unions are concerned. A lot of foolishness. Lest we forget, we feel we had a duty to invite a member of the union, and that happened to be Trevor Benn this morning, to come and let us know what's transpiring there. Honestly, I want to hear from none of them trench crappos and jagabats. I want to hear from none of them. And Trevor has clarity on this issue. He's been in the forefront of some good changes that have been taking place at the union, and we wanted to hear from him. I don't want to hear from nobody else. Who vex? Who vex? The other side of lest we forget today, lest we forget some good folks we have in the diaspora. And I want to pick up on a special interview I had quite recently with Dr. Greaves-Massey Greaves. She's doing some wonderful things in the diaspora, and we don't often get a chance to talk with these folks. And those of you in the diaspora, you're doing interesting things. Let us know. We want to talk to you too. We want to talk to you as well. You're in the diaspora working hard. You got our flag flying high. Touch base with us. We'd love to hear from you as well. Folks, here is Dr. Greaves-Massey Greaves, who we sat down and talked with quite recently with a very special interview. We're going to come back on the other side and we're going to wrap things up. Today's podcast, below the belt, lest we forget, share the live, folks. Smash that emoji button for us. Here's Dr. Greaves-Massey Greaves. Folks, we're so privileged to have with us today Dr. Greaves-Massey, mind you, and she is Guyanese by birth, by heritage, but she's lived in the diaspora for quite a long time, and we're so privileged to have her with us today. You know, she has quite a resume. She's been a chaplain. She empowers folks. She's an author. She's involved in uplifting folks. She's involved in things spiritual. She's a woman of faith. She's quite an impressive resume, and we're going to be talking to Dr. Massey in particular about a very prestigious award she's just gotten from no one else than the President of the United States of America. So, folks, she must be good. She must be good. And Dr. Massey, welcome. Welcome to your program.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Great. You know, first thing that stood out, that you Guyanese, you just got this very impressive award from the President of the United States of America. Tell us a little bit about your early upbringing, because we know you've been out for a long time.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit of that.
Mm-hmm. I've been out for a long time physically, but my actions were here in Guyana. I've done many things behind the scenes. I still have family here in Guyana. I just actually buried my brother about 2 days ago. So a lot of my family are here, and I've sent aid here, you know, undercover to many people. I've uplifted many people, and they can testify that I've uplifted many people on different levels. My days of growing up here, they're so memorable. That's why I can come here and I can just fit right in. That's why I live in Florida. It reminds me of my home. You know, I left Guyana as a young girl, but it didn't stop me. I kept my heritage, and I believe that it's very important to be so authentic and so organic to who you are. That's the only way that you can actually empower another person. You have to fully embrace the length and breadth of who you are as a person, as a human. It doesn't even matter where you come from. It's just a human thing. So I am very well connected here, even when I'm not physically here. I'm still doing things and have done, and I plan to do a lot more here in Guyana. I've never really stopped. My family does a lot here as well. We give back to the communities here in Guyana, but it's most of the time it's not heard about. But it's not important to be in front of the camera. It's important for what you do behind the scenes that makes a difference. So that's how I see those things.
Fantastic. And you know, the fact that you could have been any place else in the world this morning, but you in your homeland says a lot in and of itself. You know, part of what you do, you're a chaplain. I have a good sense of what that means. But for the viewing public, tell us a little bit of what that entails, being a chaplain.
Well, I'm a chaplain. I actually have 2 chaplain badges that are international. And one of them gives me the right to be a member of the UN. I'm a UN ambassador, member, UN ambassador, member. Let's make under the NGO, which is a nonprofit organization. I do things around the world, in Ghana. I've gone to England. I've gone to the Caribbean too. I travel a lot extensively, empowering young people, but not just young people, empowering women, because I believe when you fix the girl, you fix the world. When the girl is broken, the world is broken. The woman, she touches everything. She touches the man. She touches the children. She touches corporate world. A lot of women, they're out there. But when you bring a woman into something that, and I'm not making this a feminist, this is very important because we're all been birthed by one legal vehicle, which is a woman. The only legal vehicle that is legitimate to birth another human is a woman.
Yeah.
Do we not agree?
Yeah.
So that in itself says that that woman has to be aligned. She has to be empowered. She has to be happy. She has to be whole. Because if she comes halfway, the world is going to have a problem. The cradle is going to be rocked, but it's not going to be rocked and stabilized. It's going to be rocked negatively. And that is why women are important. We have to take our rightful place. We got to stop running from who we are. We're all different and it makes it beautiful. We all have imperfections and it makes the world a beautiful place. We don't have to have 100 degrees. We can come in the volumes of the book that has been written of us before the foundations of the world. And yes, I am a faith-based woman, but I'm a woman for all humanity. I want to see the world heal. I want to see the globe heal. But most importantly, I want to start that from my home. Where this home here in Guyana, we can begin to heal. And it's not forgetting the men, but the men are going to be okay if the woman is doing her right thing in the home. And sometimes you can do everything right and it still don't work. But it don't work out perfectly. But I believe when you have a whole woman in the house, she's handling everything. It's not going to be contaminated if she's in the right position mentally. And we have to deal with those things. I'm going to touch a little bit on I have a lot of mental health people that I consult with. I'm not a mental health specialist, but that's who I have around me. These are people that are bringing in these things so that this world can be fixed. We have to come as problem solvers. And that's what I like to see myself, as a problem solver and a very organic, authentic person that just wants to see massive change in the lives of humans, humanity, not just the woman. But I tell you one thing, if you fix that woman, you're going to fix a lot of humanity.
I'm happy to hear you say that because, believe it or not, Dr. Greaves, we have an issue here where we have lots of women. We're coming out of one pandemic, COVID-19, but the other pandemic we often see is violence against women. What are we missing as a society? I think we're a little over the top than most places where that's concerned. What are we missing?
I deal with an agency that actually is for diplomacy and against human trafficking and sex trafficking. I'm actually getting ready to be certified in that area right now. After this, I've been doing the training and they're certifying me in that area. That is tough because I do speak on gender-based violence, and not only gender-based, meaning that you can be the man or the woman, you can be on each side, on any side. And oftentimes people think mostly about the woman being physically hurt. But some men are being physically hurt as well. So we need to address all of those things so we can fix this problem. I know that there's agencies here, and those are things that I want to get into. I want to meet with those people so I can bring addition. If there's anything that they're lacking or missing, I can bring in that additional force to stop the bleeding in those areas. It is like hemorrhaging. And those things happen because you have men that have not been nurtured properly as well as women. So the only thing they know to do is to act in violence, physical violence. You know, I believe that I'm a little hothead too. I have a little hot head too because I had to represent something yesterday that I think was wrong. And if I have to physically step in as well as spiritually, I will do it. Believe me, if it's to defend the right thing, not that you're out there being a renegade, but if it's to defend the right thing, I will step up. I'm not afraid to step up. I'm one of those people that I believe if I was back in the Rosa Parks days, they probably would have thrown me in jail because I don't like discrimination and I don't like violence. And I believe that one of the most evil things is discrimination. I believe that is one of the most evil things that has been deployed to this earth, and it has to stop. It has to stop. So there's your answer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And no doubt you've been putting in a lot of work in these areas. Welcome back home, as we have said. You are, among other things, you are a business owner. As a matter of fact,
Yes.
You own quite a number of businesses
Yes.
too. As a country who has just come into a lot of oil wealth and soon oil and gas too, billions of dollars, how perhaps we should be thinking of spending this newfound money, from a business person standpoint.
That is a wide question, but I'm going to hit it as much as I can. But it is just really a tragedy on what's happening. We have to do what is right. The country says, the motto or the slogan, whatever you want to call it, it says one people, one nation, one destiny. I don't see any of that. I don't see it. And it's very ill to really, I want to make sure I'm okay because I don't have a side. I have the side of God. That's the side I have. I have the side of what's right and what is truth and what should be happening. That's my side. But I'm going to tell you one thing. I believe that if they really begin to build the infrastructure of this country, I mean the amount of wealth that came into this has been sitting here, and we haven't seen anything yet. But what it cannot be misused and mishandled, and it cannot be cutting out one gender, one race, one religion. It has to be done one people, one nation, one destiny. And what has happened, this oneness has been taken for granted, and it has been misused, mishandled, and misplaced. Oneness is oneness. You cannot, there's nothing else. It is irrevocable when you say oneness, and you can't do two. It's oneness. If they come as one nation, one people, the power behind that, there's no world leader that can stop the small country Guyana. There's no world, there's no one that can come in here and infiltrate. If we come together, the problem will be solved when we stick together, like I see back in the past when we really used to stick together, because look at my hair, my complexion. We used to stick together because we were all a mixed people. And I think that if we embrace each other and embrace each other's differences and each other's, backgrounds or whatever walks of life, social, economical background, if we begin to embrace that and see people as the Creator sees people, we wouldn't have this problem. So I believe that one people hurt other people. If people are hurt, they can hurt other people. So if they take this wealth that Guyana has and they begin to deal with the systems of mental health, they begin to deal with the systems of the foundation, the government, begin to deal with the governance of the government, begin to fix things and put things in the right order and shift things in place, this problem can be solved. And our money that is coming from the earth, and I'm saying because I am Guyanese and I'm not going to back down. I don't care who say anything. My family lived and died in this country. My parents are here right now. I have family that has served this country, so I have the right to speak. And I'm not afraid to speak. But everything needs to be done in decency and in order and not one-sided. It needs to be spread across the board. 6 nations. Let's get together and let's fight this demon of discrimination, poverty, and lack. We are rich. This country is rich. The talent in this country is unbelievable. It is insurmountable. And we have to tap into that talent with the wealth that is being put here. We can have this place. We can have the cruise ships coming in like never before. I'm talking about high-end. High-end everything. The wealth is here. The foundation is here. The capital we don't have to ask for. Yes, we may need a little help, but those people need to be put in their place. You keep them on the plane where they need to be kept on, and I believe things are going to run. But if they do what is right, this thing would be unstoppable. And the only thing we have to move from unity to synergy. Synergy is the highest form of unity. And when we ascend to that place of synergy, we're unstoppable. There's nothing that can stop Guyana from growing wide and broad and becoming the most talked about country in South America. It's been talked about now like never before, believe it or not. We're on the top of the list. They opened up England and all this stuff to us. But guess what? Are the people who don't earn enough money, are they going to be able to buy a ticket to go to England? That's what I want to know. I love all what they're doing. My question is, how are you going to make it affordable for these people to experience around the world, other places in the globe, and not just be stuck here? How?
Yeah, you talked about it not being one-sided, but there's a feeling locally that Afro-Guyanese in particular are being marginalized. They're not getting a fair share and a fair shake from this administration. What would be your thoughts broadly, without taking a side, how we should approach issues of marginalization, racism? I think it goes across the board,
Yeah.
and not only in terms of governance. How does a people or a person deal with marginalization and racism, those twin evils?
Yeah, and I'm like totally mixed with like 16 different races, okay? So I'm going to answer that question. But you know, I'm going to hit this question like this. I believe that it starts from within. It could be within you, it could be within a system, it could be within you know, an organization. It could be, it starts from within. And I believe that this is the problem, and I don't want it to be taken wrong, because I am a mixed person, okay? And I'm proud, I'm fine with that. I believe that we as people, because I'm still a black woman, regardless of what you say, I am a proud black woman. You can believe that. I don't know if I call myself Afro-American, but I'm just a proud black woman, period. Colored, okay? All the colors that you can think of is inside of me. And what we need to do is first come together. If we are a force of synergy and we're strong, it can't penetrate. The problem is that our breaches have been breached, okay? And our walls have been broken down, and we're not supporting each other. So guess what's happening? That's the problem, and I'm going to hit that right there. That is the problem, and this is not only in Guyana, this is around the world. This unity, fighting against each other, even in families, it is bleeding, and it's causing other people from the outside, we know other people, other races, whatever, it's causing them to have an inroad to come and bring destruction, because it's giving them legal rights to do whatever they want to do. So we have to come together as a people and as a force. There's no reason that 20 of us can't go by Tamiri and buy a big mansion up there and just say, you know, we're gonna, when our families come home or when we're here, or we're gonna house people when there's any disasters. Let's begin to house people here in this home. Anywhere that I've lived in America, I've always housed somebody. It doesn't matter. People always think, why you let people in your house? You know, listen, it is what it is. It's only a house. And I believe that we're the President of the United States, President Joe Biden. And let me just show it to you, okay? This is the medal that they gave me. I actually have pins. I left it home. I couldn't find it. I got a personal letter from the President of the United States, signed President Joe Biden. How often does this happen? I'm telling you, people, serve. Here I'm on the media, every media with them that are sent to me. And then here is my award.
Wow.
From the President of the United States. This is the highest honor, and I'm so humbled and I'm so privileged to be able to receive this. And I receive this on behalf of every Guyanese woman, especially my mom, Lynette Greaves, and my father, Wesley Greaves. I receive it on behalf of them and all the women and men, even like Mr. Duncan here, Mr. Weeks, those people, yes, I'm calling their names. Those people that have served in this country and that have been battered and beaten, and even the ones on either side that you're doing what's right, I receive this on behalf of the Guyanese people. It's not about me, and this is going to give me the fuel to just do more. And I plan to come here and do so much more so that I can open the doors for people in my country. Open some of these doors that have been locked. I'm a door opener, and I believe that God has placed this in my hand so I can begin to open doors for people that the doors have been shut on. We all deserve a seat at the table of greatness. And we should not have to ask permission for that seat at the table of greatness. And you know, God just afforded me one that he just pulled right up. Humility will do it, even if people think that you're not. Humility will do it for you, and your servitude and service to humanity, it will do it.
Dr. Massey, congratulations again.
Thank you.
What made you want to get into this kind of work? Looks like you could have easily been a model, you could have easily been a movie star.
I do many things, but you know what? I just like to see people lifted up. I'm in service to humanity. I believe that when God created me, he said, you are here for the other humans. Go empower your world. Go infect them. Just go place the light that is inside of you. Go infuse them with light. Go just empower them with grace. Empower them with mercy. Give them a second chance. I have a second chance because I grew up here, and there's a history to me. I grew up in very, very humble beginnings. I grew up, I'm not embarrassed to say, I grew up in the scheme yard. Can anything good come out of the Durban Street scheme yard, housing scheme? Yes, it can. Because this is the only person in the country that's a female that have this award. Be encouraged. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do it. Believe me when I tell you, if you stand in your own authentic place, you're going to get it right. But if you try to be someone else, it's not going to work. Be yourself organically. It doesn't matter if you have flaws, that's what you bring. The flaws can only be fixed when you're in the furnace. That's it. Go in the fire and let those flaws get fixed. I still have flaws. I'm not perfect, and I don't plan, to please man. As God begin to perfect me, even in the public eye, I'm in the public eye. I was just actually on a show called from the Oprah Winfrey Network called Ready to Love. The door just swung right open because I'm a door open. I sowed a seed, and they're like, no, godmother. I'm the godmother to one of the young ladies. It's a very powerful show. Millions of viewers. Okay? They now give me the nickname, the reinforcement, the godmother. So now there's a new page on my Instagram that said the godmother _ ready to love. And I mean, how many Guyanese women gets on a show like that? Or any, like, it was just a blessing. And I went in there and I went in there to transport the kingdom. I give the counsel, like I know how to counsel relational counseling, because in my own relational ups and downs, I know I am qualified to speak on that. In my own relational ups and downs, it's not the looks, it's what's on the inside of you. And if you're incompatible with someone who refuses to change, it's going to cause a problem. You can pray from now till next year, but the algorithm doesn't work like that. The prayer algorithm is going to fall apart if the other person's not coming into alignment. So I was on that show, I was featured on that show, not this past Friday, the Friday before, and it's on the own network, the Oprah Winfrey Network. So it's been a blessing.
This has been your month.
Everything has been, yes, this has definitely been a lot of things happen, but then a lot of great things happen this year. And I know it's not just for me. That's the beautiful thing. I never feel like it's for me. It's for all humanity, because now if I see that there's a way I can help someone get in that door, I'm going to do it. And I hope to one day come to Guyana and find someone that deserves this award, and find the organization to see if they'll allow me to come and bring this award to some of the people that I believe that deserve it. Excellent. So these are things that I have ahead that I want to be able to do, because now I'm in the door, I can make some decisions.
Excellent. Dr. Massey, you've been here for a couple of days. What has your stay been like, coming back to Guyana? And anything stands out?
Yeah, everything stands out. I see a little bit of improvement with the roads and stuff like that. But I think before, when I came, it was a little bit more going on, nicer, okay? But I see like maybe they're building and they're doing things. But as far as the people, I mean, it's great. I mean, this is my home. I don't feel any way out of place at all. I go to Ghana and I stay for a month. Ghana. The Ghanaians, when I land in Ghana, the media's there, they love me. So if my Guyanese people have a problem, I have a problem too. So I love the stay. I love the culture, the food. The people are still here. But what I notice a lot, that there's not a lot of my people that flew in with me. It was mostly different people that flew in. I was like, whoa. I'm looking on the plane for a lot of people that and there was not. And I'm like, wow. So you Guyanese that are here, y'all better step up. Y'all better step up and get together. Get together, because it's being a hostile takeover. And y'all have to just stand together. Stand together. It doesn't matter what you look like. Stand together. It's going to work if you stand together. But I love what I see. I see change, and I see, but like I said, there are some discrepancies, and there are some things that I think that needs to have a balance. It needs to be fixed because it's not. It's for all races. It's for all 6 nations. Let us spread the love. Let us spread the open doors. Let us spread everything that is coming in here, the wealth among the 6 nations. Empower those people that are in poverty. This country should not have one hungry person. When I leave here, I'm going to feed people. I don't know where, but I already told them stop and buy a whole tray of bread, whatever, from wherever. We're going to go feed people from wherever. I have a cousin that cooks and go feed. I might get, oh, she's not in town. But I'm going to do what I can do while I'm here. Because I'm not here to take. I'm here to bring back whatever I have. And that's what I've been doing from the time I got here. You know, I like my cashew. I want some white pudding. I want some stuff, all the good stuff, you know, that's here. The authentic food, Guyanese food, is still there. Guyana's rich in culture. We have a beautiful people. You know, I remember living next door to Indians, blacks, a little Portuguese people, because my mom is half Portuguese. She's mixed too. I remember living and being able to go next door to the Indian people. Loved me next door. Because I'm obviously half Indian or how much ever. But I used to drink swank from those people. Let's get Guyanese. Swank, I love that swank and something else. But that swank was the best. Those people loved me, and I'm trying to see who can find them for me. You know?
Dr. Massey, I'm happy to hear you say to Guyanese, pick up the pace a little bit, you know, because you're like quite a number of folks who come now say, we don't see, you know, a lot of us coming on those planes here, a lot of Indian people, a lot of Afro-Guyanese, a lot of Indo-Guyanese coming back. We see a lot of Caucasian folks coming here for money, to make money. You know, so we need to pick up the pace. I'm very happy to hear you say that and encourage our Guyanese.
Yeah, they're coming here to take what belongs to us because we're not taking it. We're sitting behind the scenes and we're fighting each other. We need to stick together and stop that, because guess what? We can share, but they call our country a terrible name. But now it's so nice. You know what I mean? Some of those people do not like you, and you think that they love you. They don't. You know, and I'm for unity, but guess what? You have to be wise in what you're doing. You have to stick together as a people. You could visit, yeah, but you need to have enough tourism for them to come just for tourism and spend money and go back. But they're fetching from here, and that is not right, because there's people here that are suffering that don't even have a proper house to live in. That's a problem. That's a problem. And you have people flying in here that live in mansions. They come here and they go back to the United States. I am in the Parkland and many other areas. Trust me, I'm in the road with some very wealthy people. I have 3 millionaires that actually mentor me, multi-millionaires, okay? I know what happens. They're transporting everything. And I know this is very political, but I don't care. Guyanese people need to step up and stop this madness. It's crazy. We all, even if we share, but these people in the country, y'all need to be fair and let everyone get a piece of this thing that belongs to them. The ancestors died and they bled for their blood is crying out for some of the wrongs. It needs to stop, and you guys need to just come together. And I said, get up, come together, black people. India, come together as one and fix this problem. We wouldn't have this problem. The atmosphere over Guyana should just be peace. This is a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place. People boast about their country. It's gorgeous. I live in Florida, so Florida is beautiful. It reminds me a lot of Guyana. But Guyana is gorgeous. It's organic. It's gorgeous. I could sit here all day. It's cool. I'm not sweating. It's beautiful.
That being said, Dr. Massey, I know that you have a full plate based on your experience, based on your qualifications, based on what you're doing. What comes next for you?
Oh, wow.
You take a rest?
No, this is fueling me more to actually go and expand my organization. That is a nonprofit around the globe. I'm actually registered in Ghana and also in the United States. We bring aid toys like Christmas time. I want to be able to send crates or whatever of toys to Guyana, and I'm getting ready to begin to send like more like food. And I honestly am not big on the food in Guyana because I really believe that you could eat from the ground. I believe in eating from the ground. I really believe in that. And this place has the food that is organic and it's awesome, and that's how I eat. So I'm not big, but I want to make sure that people like the school, the kids have their books and their school supplies and stuff for mental health for young men, young women, things to empower them so they can now go and teach. So I'm not going to stop. I'm here just to stop in for a week. And guess what? I'm going to make sure that I connect with certain agencies that I can get more things here to Guyana. I can actually empower my people more. I can actually send more aid, and any doors that I can open that will bring some kind of enhancement to the local people, especially the ones that don't get too close to where the power is. I want to be able to touch those people, and I plan to.
Excellent, excellent. Dr. Master, I want to thank you for spending this time with us. I was truly delighted. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Congratulations again.
My pleasure. And don't forget to find my book
Yeah.
on Amazon. This is just the journal, but there's a book on Amazon as well. And I have the second book coming out that's called I Come in the Volumes of Ascension. It's going to be published. I'm in the Library of Congress as well with my book. So look for that as well. Thank you so much.
Yep. There you have it, folks. There you have it, Dr. Megan Greaves-Massey. Wonderful personality, and I was privileged to sit down with her quite recently as she's visiting home and talk about a couple issues. I'm so happy that we've had you guys. Your presence, folks, your presence, believe it or not, makes a difference across our program. So glad I've had you already for FYI, and now we're below the belt, and then we're in the ring later on. I'm so happy that you folks are here. Thank you for showing up, folks, as you do program after program. It means a lot to us. It means the world to us, folks. I ain't gonna lie to you. It means the world to us. Share the live wherever you're joining us from, and smash that emoji button as well, guys, and partner with us. Another very, very important feature of our program. Partner with us so we can keep on doing what we do here, folks. Right? Keep on keeping on at this end. Partner with us so we can keep on doing what we do here. It's very important. And guys, we're available via Cash App, we're available via PayPal and Zelle, MMG, we're available via MoneyGram and Western Union. And every cent y'all give me, goes towards building out these programs, making them bigger and better. We want more folks to get valid and credible information. That's why we encourage you guys to share the program as well. It's not just about the likes and the shares per se, but it's that when you do that, other folks come into contact with information, and we're big on that. Credible, valid information. Good to have had so many of you join us today. I trust that lunch is good, or it's going to be good, or it was good. Some of y'all like them to the chairs go squeak out the lunch already. Some of y'all like that. That's them bad, them cheering. Guys, them too bad, them cheering. I really want to thank Trevor Benn for coming by this morning early and having that conversation with us that you were able to benefit from the first half of the first segment of our program. And then we were able to talk with Dr. Megan Greaves-Massey there about some of the work she's doing and a very prestigious award she's just gotten from Joe Biden. She says, it's for all of us. It's for all of you. I really like that magnanimous spirit. I really like that. And that's going to do it for us at this end, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Again, partner with us, folks. We headed out to Mountain, and it's like as soon as you flip your hat these days, when you turn around, it's Mountain, and it's the Bills watching you to keep all this going. 3 programs plus the website, churning out information, credible and valid. And I don't think we're doing nearly enough to get you sufficient information that allows you to make the kind of decisions you need to make, folks, and that you can get a conclusion on some of the issues happening locally. And we're challenging ourselves to do more. Like Boxer from Animal Farm, I must work harder. That's our resolve. Day after day, I must work harder. That is the resolve, folks. Good to have had each and every one of you. We're available via Cash App. We're available via Zelle and PayPal. We're available via MMG, MoneyGram, and Western Union. Each donation, as we say, keeps our programs going. That's the fuel. And your presence, folks, makes a difference here. Thanks for joining us. Go ahead and have a great afternoon. The weather should pick up nicely. The heat is what it is. We can't seem to shake that these days. It is what it is. But we're happy we've had it. Lest we forget what's happening at the credit union. Lest we forget, we got some good folks in the diaspora. Good folks. Like lots of you who are joining us. That's going to do it for us at this end, folks. Go ahead and have a fantastic afternoon, fantastic rest of the day. We're going to see you guys right back here this evening at 8 o'clock. Why don't you take the opportunity and share the live before you go? Share our program via WhatsApp, share it, send the link, however you can send it to folks who may not have received our program before. And some of them, you know, who's skulking today. Good to have each and every one of you. That's our time, good folks, and that's our program.